खुद भी चीज़ें करके सीख सकते हैं। आज के इस इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी के ज़माने में सारी इंफॉर्मेशन, हर तरीके की इंफॉर्मेशन गूगल पे ऑनलाइन फ्रीली अवेलेबल है। हमें बस उनको ध्यान से पढ़ना है, उनको समझना है और उनको अपने फाइनेंशियल जीवन में उनका अनुपालन करना है। जिससे निश्चित तौर पर ही हम किसी भी कंपनी की फाइनेंशियल स्टैंडिंग कैसे क्या है, कंपनी कैसा परफॉर्म कर रही है और कंपनी भविष्य में कैसा परफॉर्म कर सकती है, इसके शेयर प्राइस बढ़ेंगे, गिरेंगे, ये हम सिर्फ और सिर्फ अपने ज्ञान से ही डिसाइड कर सकते हैं। कहते हैं कि सोते हुए शेर के मुंह में अपने आप शिकार नहीं जाता, मेहनत शेर को शिकार के लिए खुद ही करनी पड़ती है। इसी तरीके से हम जब शेयर मार्केट सीखने की बात करते हैं, स्पीकर्स हुए, कोर्सेज हुए, ये आपको शेयर मार्केट के बारे में बता तो सकते हैं, लेकिन सीखने का प्रयास हमें खुद करना पड़ेगा। हमें चीज़ें खुद समझनी होंगी और ये बहुत छोटी छोटी चीज़ें हैं जिनका हमें ध्यान देना है। अमूमन जैसे हम बात करें कि कंपनी के पोस्ट टैक्स प्रॉफिट्स क्या हैं, कंपनी का पी रेशियो या क्या है, कंपनी के ऊपर मार्केट डेट यानी कर्जा कितना है, ये छोटे छोटे फाइनेंशियल इंडिकेटर्स होते हैं जो कंपनी की परफॉर्मेंस की रिपोर्ट हमें देते हैं और इनके आधार पर हम ये तय कर सकते हैं कि ये शेयर या ये कंपनी आगे भविष्य में किस तरीके से अपना प्रदर्शन करेगी। इसी क्रम में हम आगे बढ़ते हैं। हाउ टू स्टार्ट। सबसे लोगों का सवाल आता है कि हम जब शेयर मार्केट में जा रहे हैं तो हम कितना इन्वेस्ट करें, 1 लाख, 10 लाख, 1 हज़ार, 1 करोड़। मेरा इसमें मत ये है कि हमेशा हमें छोटे से स्टार्ट करना है। जिस चीज़ की अभी हमें जानकारी नहीं है, जिस चीज़ में हम नए हैं, तो वहाँ हमें अपनी सारी पूंजी लगा के जोखिम लेने का कोई मतलब नहीं बनता। हमेशा हमें छोटे छोटे अमाउंट से इन्वेस्टमेंट अपना शुरू करना चाहिए, ताकि जब तक हम इस जर्नी में फाइनेंशियल मार्केट में परिपक्व हो, मैच्योरिटी गेन करें, उस टाइम तक अगर कोई भी रिस्क होता है तो हमारी रिस्क बियरिंग कैपेसिटी यानी जितना रिस्क हम झेल सकते हैं उसके अनुरूप ही रहें। इसलिए छोटा छोटा स्टार्ट करते हैं। आपको ध्यान हो, जैसे हम तैराकी सीखने जाते हैं तो हमारे कोच साहब हमें सीधे 8 फुट में नहीं ढकेल देते। हमेशा हम स्टार्टिंग करते हैं छोटे से, 2 फुट से, 3 फुट से, 4 फुट से, अंततः जाके 8 फुट से और फिर डीप डाइविंग पे। इसी प्रकार यही नियम हमें शेयर मार्केट में अपनाना है कि हमें जो इन्वेस्टमेंट अपना शुरू करना है वो छोटा छोटा करना है। 1,000 रुपये से भी आप स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं। म्यूचुअल फंड्स में SIP के माध्यम से हम इसको स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं। फिर जैसे जैसे हम इसको सीखते जाते हैं, हमें अनुभव होता जाता है, हम अपनी रिस्क टेकिंग कैपेसिटी बढ़ा सकते हैं और अपना इन्वेस्टमेंट का अमाउंट बढ़ा सकते हैं। आगे हम बढ़ते हैं। आपको ध्यान हो, जब हम सुबह सब्जी खरीदने जाते हैं तो 4 ठेलों पे देखते हैं कि ये आलू कैसा है, टमाटर कैसा है, उसको परखते हैं कि भैया इसमें दाग तो नहीं है। पपीता लेते हैं कि यार ये तो गल रहा है यहाँ से। ठीक यही अनुशासन और यही नियम हमें शेयर मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट करते वक्त भी अपनाना है। जिस कंपनी में हम इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं उस कंपनी की हमको पूरी जानकारी लेनी है, पूरा रिसर्च करना है कि कंपनी कैसी है, कंपनी के प्रमोटर्स कौन हैं, पिछले क्वार्टर में कंपनी ने कितना प्रॉफिट दिया था, लॉस दिया था, कंपनी के ऊपर डेट कितना है, कर्जा कितना है, क्या कंपनी किसी ऐसे काम में डील करती है जो भारत सरकार द्वारा प्रतिबंधित है या भविष्य में प्रतिबंध होने के इसके आसार हैं, क्या कंपनी का किसी के ऊपर कोई मुकदमा चल रहा है, क्या कंपनी कंसिस्टेंटली प्रॉफिट्स दे रही है, डिविडेंड्स दे रही है। ये सब छोटी छोटी चीज़ें हमें कंपनी के बारे में रिसर्च करनी है, जो कि आज के इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी के युग में गूगल और इंटरनेट पर फ्रीली अवेलेबल है। हम कंपनी की सारी बारीकियाँ, सारी गहराइयाँ आज गूगल के माध्यम से निकाल सकते हैं। तो मेरा आप लोगों से यही अनुरोध है कि जिस तरीके से हम घर में सब्जी लाते वक्त अलग अलग ठेलों पे अलग अलग दुकानदारों के यहाँ देखते हैं, एक एक सब्जी चेक करते हैं कि भैया इसमें दाग तो नहीं है, ये गल तो नहीं रही है, ठीक उसी प्रकार हमें अंधाधुंध इन्वेस्टिंग नहीं करनी है। जिस कंपनी में हम इन्वेस्ट करने जा रहे हैं उस कंपनी के बारे में हमें पता होना चाहिए। जब हम राशन देख समझ के पढ़ के लाते हैं तो हम अपनी जीवन भर की जमा पूंजी जहाँ इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं वहाँ तो उसकी जानकारी हमें होना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि जिस कंपनी में हमारा पैसा लगने जा रहा है क्या वो भविष्य में सुरक्षित रहेगा, और ये सब रिसर्च हमें अपने आप ही करनी होगी। हम आगे बढ़ते हैं। एक प्रश्न और आता है लोगों का कि सर हम क्या इन्वेस्ट करें, कितना इन्वेस्ट करें, क्या सर हमने जो कमाया है सारी जमा पूंजी लगा दें शेयर मार्केट में? इसका उत्तर है नहीं। जब आप शुरू कर रहे हैं आप इन्वेस्ट उतना करिए जितना आपके पास अतिरिक्त हो। इन्वेस्ट व्हाट इज सरप्लस, कि कल को अगर नुकसान होता है तो आपकी पूंजी तो ना जाए, जो आपने कमाया है जीवन में, जो मुनाफा कमाया है सिर्फ उसका नुकसान हो। कहते हैं पैसा पैसे को खींचता है। जब हम अपना इन्वेस्टमेंट करेंगे, सरप्लस करेंगे और गेन करेंगे इसमें, तो बट ऑब्वियस है कि आपकी पूंजी इसमें बढ़ेगी, अपने आप ही गेन जो है वो आपके बढ़ेंगे। इसलिए हमें ध्यान रखना है कि शेयर मार्केट में जब भी हम इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं हमें सिर्फ अपना सरप्लस इन्वेस्ट करना है। हमें कोई भी कदम ऐसा नहीं उठाना है कि हमने कर्जा लेके इन्वेस्ट कर दिया, हमने अपनी सारी जमा पूंजी जीवन भर की अपने घर के एसेट्स बेच के शेयर मार्केट में पैसा लगा दिया। ये सब जानते हैं, अखबार सब पढ़ते हैं, हम देखते हैं कि लोग शेयर मार्केट जब टूटता है तो कैसा टूटता है, लोग बर्बाद हो गए हैं इसमें। इसलिए हमें इन्वेस्ट करते वक्त बहुत ध्यान रखना है कि इन्वेस्ट हम सिर्फ उतना ही करें जितना हमारे पास अतिरिक्त हो, जिसके अगर खोने की स्थिति बनती है तो हमारे परिवार पर, हमारी जीवन शैली पर कोई भी बुरा प्रभाव नहीं पड़ना चाहिए। इसलिए इस बात को आप लोग ध्यान रखें, इन्वेस्ट और लीव व्हाट इज सरप्लस। अगली बात आती है डाइवर्सिफाई। एक बहुत पुरानी कहावत है, डू नॉट पुट ऑल योर एग्स इन वन बास्केट। इसको हम रिस्क शेडिंग के नाम से भी कह सकते हैं कि मान लीजिए हम कहीं जा रहे हैं, एक ही बास्केट में हमारे सारे अंडे हैं, एक ही पॉलिथीन में हमारे सारे अंडे गिर जाती तो हमारा तो पूरा नुकसान हो जाएगा। ठीक इसी तरीके से शेयर बाज़ार में हमें अपना जो पोर्टफोलियो डिज़ाइन करना है उसमें हर तरीके के सेगमेंट प्रोडक्ट्स होने चाहिए, जैसे कि इक्विटी प्रोडक्ट्स भी होना चाहिए, डेट भी होना चाहिए और म्यूचुअल फंड्स भी होने चाहिए। इक्विटी जहां आपको हाई रेट गेन देगा, डेट आपका पैसा सिक्योर रखेगा। हम सब जानते हैं इक्विटी मार्केट कितना वॉलेटाइल है, रोज़ सेंसेक्स अप होता है, रोज़ डाउन होता है, जिसके साथ लोगों की पूंजी भी स्वाहा होती है और कभी पूंजी वो बढ़ती भी है। चूँकि हमारा पैसा हम इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए लगा रहे हैं, खोने के लिए नहीं लगा रहे हैं, इसलिए हमें इस बात का ध्यान रखना है कि हमारे तरकश में हर टाइप का तीर होना ज़रूरी है, कि एक तीर टूटता भी है तो कम से कम दूसरे तीर से हम अपनी वापसी तो कर सकें। अगर कभी मान लीजिए इक्विटी मार्केट डाउन जाता है तो डेट में एटलीस्ट इन्वेस्टेड हमारा पैसा सिक्योर तो है, हमारा मूलधन सिक्योर तो है। इसी प्रकार हम म्यूचुअल फंड्स की बात करते हैं तो म्यूचुअल फंड्स में भी एक पूल ऑफ एसेट्स बनाया जाता है जिसमें हर तरीके की कंपनियों के शेयर्स होते हैं, हर तरीके का पोर्टफोलियो होता है, उसमें इक्विटी भी होता है, उसमें प्रेफरेंस भी होते हैं, उसमें म्यूचुअल फंड्स भी होते हैं। तो मेरा आप लोगों से यही अनुरोध है कि हम इसको डाइवर्सिफाई करें हमेशा अपने पोर्टफोलियो को। कभी कोई शेयर हमारा हो सकता है प्रॉफिट दे और हो सकता है अगले दिन वो लॉस दे दे, तो इस चीज़ वजह से हमें अपना पोर्टफोलियो डाइवर्सिफाई करना पड़ेगा कि एक शेयर अगर हमारा नीचे जाता है और दूसरा शेयर हमारा ऊपर जाता है तो हमारी रिस्क जो है वो मिटिगेट हो जाए। लोग कहते हैं शेयर बाजार एक जुआ है, इन्वेस्टमेंट इज द गैम्बलिंग, लेकिन मैं ऐसा नहीं मानता। इन्वेस्टमेंट इज नॉट अ गैम्बलिंग। इन्वेस्टमेंट इज ऑल अबाउट स्टडी एंड इन्वेस्टिंग योर मनी। इन्वेस्टमेंट इज द गैम्बलिंग लेकिन सिर्फ उनके लिए जो अंधाधुंध भीड़ के साथ चलते हैं, बिना रिसर्च करे, बिना सीखे, बिना मार्केट को पढ़े अपना पैसा इन्वेस्ट कर देते हैं। जुआ उनके लिए, लक वहाँ चलता है। शेयर बाज़ार को अगर हम डीपली स्टडी करें और अपने अनुभव के साथ इन्वेस्टमेंट करें, ये मेरा आश्वासन है सबसे कि हो सकता हो शॉर्ट टर्म में हमें कुछ लॉस मिले, लेकिन लॉन्ग टर्म में आप हमेशा कमा के ही निकलेंगे। शेयर मार्केट इज़ नॉट अबाउट जस्ट गैम्बलिंग, इट्स ऑल अबाउट इन्वेस्टिंग। आपको शेयर मार्केट को पढ़ना है, कंपनियों को समझना है और फिर इन्वेस्ट करना है। ऐसा नहीं है कि शेयर मार्केट एकदम से ऊपर चला गया, एक शेयर आज ऊपर चला गया तो आपने लेके डाल दिया। मैं इसका उदाहरण भी देना चाहूँगा। आज से 2 साल पहले जब यस बैंक का शेयर टूटा तो लोगों ने बहुत तेज़ी से उसमें इन्वेस्ट करना शुरू करा और उस शेयर का प्राइस एकदम से काफ़ी इन्फ्लेट हुआ और लोग इन्वेस्ट करते गए। अल्टीमेटली उस शेयर में लॉक इन आ गया और शेयर का प्राइस एकदम से फिर से धड़ाम हुआ और इन्वेस्टर्स को की पूंजी काफ़ी उसमें नष्ट हुई। तो हमें इस चीज़ का ध्यान रखना है कि हमें पढ़ना है, फिर इन्वेस्ट करना है, सिर्फ तुक्का शेयर बाज़ार नहीं है। डू नॉट इन्वेस्ट ब्लाइंडली ऑन फ्री टिप्स। सर, आज के ज़माने में फ्री हमें कुछ भी नहीं मिलता। आप जैसे ही डीमैट रजिस्टर कराते हैं, डीमैट अकाउंट खोलते हैं, आप देखते होंगे कि आपकी मेल बॉक्स पे, मोबाइल पे खूब सारे एसएमएस आने लगते हैं कि ये शेयर ले लीजिए, ये डेरिवेटिव ले लीजिए, ये फ्यूचर, ये ऑप्शन, इस तरीके की खूब सारी टिप्स आती हैं फ्री में। लेकिन कहते हैं ना कि इस दुनिया में और ख़ासकर इस कलयुग में फ्री कुछ भी नहीं है। देयर इज़ नो फ्री लंच। इन्वेस्ट करना है अगर हमें, तो इन टिप्स पे को मानना नहीं है ब्लाइंडली। मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि इन टिप्स को आप इग्नोर कर दीजिए। टिप्स आती हैं, टिप्स आप देखिए, आप सर्च करिए, रिसर्च करिए। आपको लगता है कि इस टिप में आपके काम की है, आपको इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए, आप डिसीजन लीजिए। डिसीजन आप अपने विवेक से लीजिए, किसी के कहे अनुसार आप डिसीजन मत लीजिए कि आपके डीमैट वाले ने बोल दिया सर आज ये शेयर ले लीजिए, भाव बढ़ेगा, सर ये गिरेगा, इसको बेच दीजिए। नहीं, डिसीजन आपको लेना है। पैसा आपका है, इन्वेस्टमेंट आपका है, रिटर्न्स लॉस आपका है। किसी और की पूंजी नहीं टूटेगी, पूंजी आपकी टूटेगी, पूंजी आपकी बनेगी। इसलिए मैं फिर वापस ये कहूँगा, रिसर्च करिए और इन्वेस्ट करिए। किसी भी प्रकार की फ्री टिप्स पे हमें कोई भी ध्यान नहीं देना है। हो सकता है फ्री टिप हमें लगे, बहुत ललचाई लगे कि सर मान लीजिए फला शेयर आया है, 200 रुपये इसका प्राइस चल रहा है और 15 दिन के अंदर ये 300 हो जाएगा। लेकिन ध्यान रखिए, अगर 15 दिन के अंदर वो 300 जाने की उसकी संभावना है तो एक हफ्ते के अंदर उसकी 50 रुपये भी आने की संभावना है। इसलिए मेरा अनुरोध है कि फ्री टिप्स को मान के आप इन्वेस्ट मत करें। फ्री टिप्स को जो आती हैं उनको देखिए, उन पर रिसर्च करिए, अपना विवेक इस्तेमाल करिए, अपना एक्सपीरियंस इस्तेमाल करिए और आपको लगता है कि इसमें आपको इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए, आप निश्चित रूप से इन्वेस्ट करें। इसी क्रम में हम आगे बढ़ते हैं। डोंट फॉलो द हर्ड, यानी हमें भीड़ को फॉलो नहीं करना है। जैसा कि मैंने आपको अभी कुछ मिनट पहले बताया कि बैंक का शेयर जब गिरा, यस बैंक के डिफ़ॉल्ट होने की खबर आई और शेयर प्राइस काफ़ी डाउन हुए, लोगों ने उसमें एकदम से ख़रीदारी चालू हुई और शेयर काफ़ी अच्छे प्राइस पे पहुंच गया और उसके बाद सेबी ने उस शेयर पे लॉक इन लगा दिया। जिन लोगों ने उसमें अच्छे नंबर क्वांटिटी में शेयर लिए थे उन सब का लॉक इन रह गया। मैक्सिमम 1000 शेयर तक वो फ्रीली ट्रेड कर सकते थे। उन सब बाकी सब लॉक इन में चले गए 3 साल के, जिनमें एक भुक्तभोगी मैं भी हूँ। तो ये मैं अपने अनुभव से सीखा हूँ। डोंट फॉलो द हर्ड, हमें भीड़ को फॉलो नहीं करना है। हमारे दोस्त ने बताया कि अरे आज इस शेयर में मुझे इतना कमा लिया 6 महीने में, नहीं। हम अपना विवेक इस्तेमाल करेंगे, अपना निर्णय स्वयं लेंगे। पैसा हमारा है, नुकसान नफ़ा हमारा है। हमें लगता है ये शेयर हमें लेना है, इसकी मार्केट स्टडी बोलती है कि शेयर इन्वेस्ट करने लायक है, तो इस शेयर में हम इन्वेस्ट करेंगे। लेकिन अगर हम ये मार्केट स्टडी बोलती है कि ये शेयर इन्वेस्ट करने लायक नहीं है, हमें इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं करना है। हो सकता हो कि इसने जो अनएक्सपेक्टेड रिटर्न्स दिए हैं वो किसी और कारण से दिए हुए हों। कोई इसके विभिन्न कारण हो सकते हैं, कोई इनसाइडर इन्फॉर्मेशन हो सकती है, हो सकता है कोई शेयर को प्ले करने की कोशिश कर रहा हो। तो इन सब चीज़ों का हमें ध्यान रखना है। इसलिए हमें इन्वेस्टमेंट बहुत ध्यान से करना है, भीड़ के हिसाब से नहीं। क्योंकि कहते हैं, आप देखिए ना, हम पेड़ जब लगाते हैं तो कोई भी पेड़ एक दिन में फल देने नहीं लगता, हर पेड़ को फल देने में टाइम लगता है। चंदन का पेड़ भी एक समय लेता है खुशबू देने के लिए। ठीक उसी प्रकार कोई शेयर रातों रात आपको अमीर नहीं बना सकता। इसलिए भीड़ को फॉलो नहीं करना है, हमें अपनी रिसर्च करनी है, अपना विवेक का इस्तेमाल करना है और फिर इन्वेस्टमेंट करना है। अगला ऑप्शन है जो हमें ध्यान देना है और ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है, इन्वेस्ट कंसिस्टेंटली। मतलब हमें शेयर मार्केट में लगातार इन्वेस्ट करना है, धीरे धीरे इन्वेस्ट करना है। ऐसा नहीं कि आज लगा लिया और उसके बाद 2 साल आप के लिए छोड़ दिया, फिर आप तीसरे साल फिर हो गए, नहीं। इसमें आप हमेशा लॉन्ग देखेंगे, एट द एंड ऑफ द डे आप नुकसान में जाएंगे। शेयर बाज़ार में इन्वेस्टमेंट जब हम करते हैं तो धीरे धीरे थोड़ा थोड़ा करना है, रेगुलरली करना है। हम कोई एक पेड़ लगाते हैं तो धीरे धीरे ही वो हमें रिटर्न्स देता है। ठीक इसी प्रकार शेयर बाज़ार भी हमें धीरे धीरे ही रिटर्न्स देगा। स्टॉक मार्केट में जब हम ट्रेड करते हैं, हमें अपने रिटर्न्स का ध्यान हमें अपने इन्वेस्टमेंट का ध्यान रखना है। लोग जैसे सबसे बड़ी बात एक चीज़ और आती है शेयर मार्केट में, जब हम देखते हैं कि शेयर मार्केट जब बढ़ता है तो लोग एकदम से इन्वेस्टमेंट शुरू कर देते हैं, और शेयर मार्केट गिरता है तो लोग अपने शेयर्स एग्जिट कर देते हैं, शेयर बेच देते हैं। इस स्थिति में एक चीज़ मैं कहना चाहूँगा, जब शेयर गिरता है, मार्केट गिरता है, वो सबसे गोल्डन अपॉर्चुनिटी होती है इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए। क्योंकि वो 10 रुपये की चीज़ उस टाइम हमें 2 रुपये की मिल जाती है। जो शेयर आज हम मार्केट जब बढ़ता है 100 रुपये में एक शेयर मिलता है, हो सकता है वो शेयर जब मार्केट गिरे, और वो शेयर अगर गिरता है तो 100 रुपये में आपको 100 शेयर भी मिल सकते हैं। इसलिए जब मार्केट डाउन होता है वो इन्वेस्टमेंट का सबसे अच्छा समय होता है। शेयर मार्केट में जब भी हम इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, हमें धैर्य बहुत रखना होता है। पेशेंस जो है वो इसका शेयर मार्केट का मूल मंत्र है। हड़बड़ी सिर्फ नुकसान देती है, जल्दबाजी में आप हमेशा नुकसान खाएंगे। ये नहीं कि शेयर आज लिया कल बेच दिया। शेयर मार्केट को समय दीजिए, आप अपने इन्वेस्टमेंट को समय दीजिए। बच्चा भी पैदा होने में 9 महीने का समय लेता है, और एक पूरा जीवन काट के ही वो संसार को समझ पाता है। हम कोई भी व्यापार जब खड़ा करते हैं तो हमें एक दिन में प्रॉफिट देने नहीं लगता, वो एक समय लेता है रिटर्न्स देने में, एक समय लेता है एस्टैब्लिश होने में। ठीक उसी प्रकार शेयर बाजार समय लेता है रिटर्न्स देने में। हो सकता है कभी कभार आपको शॉर्ट टर्म में बहुत जल्दी गेन हो जाए, लेकिन हो सकता है शेयर शॉर्ट टर्म में आपको बहुत नुकसान भी हो। लेकिन आप अगर धैर्य रखेंगे, शेयर बाज़ार में लॉन्ग टर्म के इरादे से इन्वेस्ट करेंगे कि हमारा जो इन्वेस्टमेंट है वो हमें लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए करना है, एक लंबी अवधि के लिए करना है, तो ना सिर्फ आप अपने और अपने परिवार के लिए आप अपनी पूंजी बचा पाएंगे, बल्कि आप अपनी पूंजी बना भी पाएंगे। लाभ हमेशा आपको लंबी अवधि में ही मिलेगा। यू विल ऑलवेज गेन ऑन अ लॉन्गर ड्यूरेशन एंड नेवर ऑन अ शॉर्टर ड्यूरेशन। शॉर्ट ड्यूरेशन में हो सकता है आपको कुछ प्रॉफिट मिले, बट अगर आप उसको रेगुलरली मॉनिटर करेंगे, शॉर्ट ड्यूरेशन में आप एग्जिट में हमेशा नुकसान लगेगा। शेयर में इन्वेस्ट कर रहा है, छोड़ दीजिए उसको। पेड़ लगा के हम छोड़ देते हैं कि ये आज नहीं तो कल फल देगा, हमें फल आपको निश्चित रूप से मिलेगा। मैं आपको एक घटना बताना चाहूँगा इसी संबंध में, शेयर पेशेंस की। एक महिला ने एक शेयर लिया था 1985 में कंपनी का, जिसकी उस टाइम कोई वैल्यू नहीं थी, और सन 2020 में वो उसने शेयर मार्केट एक्सपर्ट से जब पूछा कि सर इस कंपनी के शेयर मेरी दादी ने लिए थे, और इस शेयर का मैं क्या करूं, मुझे रखना चाहिए कि मुझे बेचना चाहिए, क्योंकि शेयर मार्केट के बारे में मुझे कोई जानकारी नहीं है। तो जब शेयर एक्सपर्ट ने उस कंपनी का नाम पूछा तो सब हक्के बक्के रह गए। उस टाइम पे लिया हुआ वो शेयर 10 रुपये का शेयर सन 2020 में उसकी वैल्यूएशन 8,000 रुपये पर शेयर थी। अब आप सोचिए इस चीज़ को कि लंबी अवधि ही हमें हमेशा मुनाफा देगी। उस जिसने वो क्वेरी पूछी थी, उनका टोटल वैल्यूएशन कुछ करोड़ों में पहुंच गया था उस शेयर का, और उस टाइम तो शेयर में लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन टैक्स भी नहीं लगता था, टैक्स फ्री इनकम भी थी हमारी। तो पेशेंस हमें रखना है शेयर मार्केट में। हम जब भी इन्वेस्ट करें हमेशा लॉन्ग टर्म के हिसाब से सोचिए। शॉर्ट टर्म जीवन में कुछ भी नहीं होता। लंबे उद्देश्य से आप उतरिए कि इस शेयर बाज़ार में हमें उतर रहे हैं, हमें लंबे अवधि के लिए इन्वेस्ट करना है। शेयर मार्केट को पढ़िए, पढ़ना सीखिए, किस कंपनी प्रॉफिट दे रही है, किस कंपनी का मार्केट अच्छा है, किस कंपनी का सेगमेंट अच्छा है, ऐसी कंपनी कौन सी कंपनी है जो आने वाली टेक्नोलॉजी में डील कर रही है या आने वाले प्रोडक्ट्स में डील कर रही है। उन कंपनीज को देखिए, कंपनी के व्यापार को देखिए, क्या उस व्यापार का भविष्य में स्कोप है क्या। नोकिया 3310 आज के ज़माने में नहीं चल रहा है, हो सकता हो आज जो चल रहा हो वो कल नहीं चले। तो हमेशा हमें फ्यूचरिस्टिक अप्रोच देखनी है। जिन कंपनीज में हम इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं वो क्या काम कर रही हैं, उनका व्यापार क्या है, आने वाले समय में उनका व्यापार किस साइड जाएगा, पॉलिटिकल सिनेरियोज क्या है। मान लीजिए कोई कंपनी है जो रूस के साथ डील कर रही है या यूक्रेन के साथ डील कर रही है, तो ऐसे में हो सकता हो उस शेयर प्राइस गिरे क्योंकि उस कंपनी का व्यापार संशय में है। लेकिन कोई कंपनी हो सकता हो यूएस से डील कर रही हो या किसी और ऐसे देश से डील कर रही हो जहाँ पॉलिटिकल स्टेबिलिटी है और बहुत अच्छी मार्केट है, और किसी ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी में डील कर रही हो या ऐसे प्रोडक्ट या सेगमेंट में डील कर रही हो जिसका आने वाले टाइम में बहुत अच्छा स्कोप है, हो सकता हो उस कंपनी के शेयर के प्राइस बढ़े। तो हमें शेयर मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट करते वक्त यही देखना है कि हम कैसे पैसा कमा सकते हैं। हमें कंपनियों को पढ़ना है, कंपनियों के बारे में पढ़ना है, कंपनियों के व्यापार के बारे में पढ़ना है, और फिर हमें अपना विवेक, अपनी बुद्धि इस्तेमाल करते हुए अपने पैसे का निवेश करना है। एक जगह निवेश हमें नहीं करना है। निवेश हमें विभिन्न प्रकार के प्रोडक्ट्स में, सेगमेंट्स में करना है, ताकि कल को कोई एक प्रोडक्ट अगर हमें नुकसान देता है तो दूसरा प्रोडक्ट का प्रॉफिट उस चीज़ को मिटिगेट कर सके और हमारी पूंजी, कम से कम मूलधन तो हमारा सुरक्षित रहे। हमें ये भी ध्यान रखना है कि हम सुनी सुनाई बातों के हिसाब से इन्वेस्ट नहीं करें। हम आवेश में या भावनात्मक रूप से फाइनेंशियल डिसीजंस नहीं लें। फाइनेंशियल डिसीजंस इमोशंस के साथ नहीं लिए जाते। इमोशंस आर ऑलवेज हार्मफुल फॉर बिजनेस। फाइनेंशियल डिसीजंस हमेशा हमें पढ़ के लेने हैं, बुद्धि से लेने हैं, अपने विवेक का उपयोग करते हुए लेने हैं। आशा करता हूँ ये सेशन आप लोगों के काम आएगा, आप लोगों को ज्ञानवर्धन देगा, और इसी के साथ मैं आप सबको धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा।
क्रिटिकल है बट वी आर ट्राइंग।
ये सब हुआ कैसे?
एक फोन आया था राजेश के पास। उसने कहा कि उनकी 1 करोड़ की लॉटरी निकली है और उसके लिए उसने बैंक डिटेल्स मांगी। राजेश ने सारी डिटेल्स दे दी। 1 घंटे के अंदर ही उनके बैंक अकाउंट से सारा पैसा साफ हो गया और वो यहाँ आ गए। हार्ट अटैक आया है।
देखा आपने, आपकी जरा सी असावधानी क्या कर सकती है। डिजिटल फ्रॉड करने वालों से सावधान रहें। अपनी बैंक डिटेल्स, अपना डेबिट या क्रेडिट कार्ड नंबर, एक्सपायरी डेट, सीवीवी, ओटीपी, पिन कभी किसी को ना बताएं। सावधान रहें, समझदार बने।
IEPF अथॉरिटी द्वारा जनहित में जारी।
हाँ जी सुरेश जी, रिटायरमेंट के बाद जो प्रोविडेंट फंड आएगा उसका क्या करेंगे?
कुछ खास प्लान नहीं है। पड़ा रहेगा बैंक में, ब्याज आता रहेगा और क्या।
सुरेश जी, बैंक से कितना ब्याज आएगा? एक नई स्कीम बताता हूँ, उसमें पैसे लगा दो, साल भर में दुगने बल्कि चौगुना हो जाएगा। हाँ, बस कुछ नए मेंबर्स बनाने।
नहीं नहीं सुरेश जी, इन सब फालतू चक्करों में मत पड़िए कि नए मेंबर बनाना, रातों रात करोड़पति बनाना, ऐसे सपने दिखाने वाली स्कीम से बचकर रहें। आप लालच में आकर नहीं, समझदारी से निवेश करें। नए मेंबर बनाओ, वर्ल्ड टूर पे जाओ, कमीशन पाओ या उपहार घर ले जाओ। ऐसे सपने दिखाने वाली स्कीम से बचकर रहें। ऐसी स्कीम्स धोखा हो सकती हैं।
IEPF अथॉरिटी, कॉर्पोरेट कार्य मंत्रालय द्वारा जनहित में जारी।
यार वो मेरे बचपन का दोस्त है, वो क्यों मुझसे झूठ कहने लगा? वो कह रहा था इस स्कीम में पैसा लगाने पर 6 महीने में 10 के 20,000 हो जाएंगे।
और तूने मान लिया?
ऐसा ऑफर कौन छोड़ता है? 10,000 के 20,000।
एक काम कर, ये ले 100 रुपये पकड़ना और जाके 10 किलो लड्डू लेके आ।
अबे पागल है क्या? 100 रुपए में 10 किलो लड्डू आते हैं? अबे इसके तो 1 किलो लड्डू भी नहीं आएंगे।
जब इतना जानता है तो ये नहीं जानता कि 6 महीने में 10,000 के 20,000 नहीं होते। समझदारी बढ़ा, लालच नहीं।
लालच में न आए, समझदारी बढ़ाएं। IEPF अथॉरिटी द्वारा जनहित में जारी।
कैनवास में रंग भरकर उसे जीवित बना देना एक कला कहलाती है। इसी तरह अपनी जमा पूंजी बढ़ाकर जिंदगी बना लेना भी एक कला ही है। मैंने भी ये स्टूडियो ऐसे ही बनाया है, पाई पाई जमा करके।
मुझे भी लोग फोन करते हैं, मेल करते हैं, मुझे कन्विंस करते हैं कि उनकी इन्वेस्टमेंट स्कीम्स बहुत अच्छी है।
उन लोगों के भी रेफरेंसेस देते हैं जिन्हें फ़ायदा हुआ है, पर मैं अपनी रिसर्च खुद करती हूँ। आपको भी यही करना चाहिए। सरकार की कुछ वेबसाइट्स हैं जिन पर जाकर आप अपने निवेश से संबंधित पूरी जानकारी ले सकते हैं, और ये वेबसाइट्स हैं मैं अपने पैसों को लेकर सावधान रहती हूँ, आप भी रहिए।
IEPF अथॉरिटी द्वारा जनहित में जारी।
A very warm welcome, viewers, to this Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority's 34th episode for tele-lectures on services by CDSL for investors. So, सबसे पहले हम जाते हैं एक 90 के दशक में। 90 के दशक की एक छोटी सी बात मैं आपसे कहना चाहूँगा। 90 के दशक में इमेजिन कीजिए एक बड़ा सा कमरा है, there's a huge room and people are shouting over each other, they are climbing over each other. एक दूसरे पे चढ़ के लोग चिल्ला चिल्ला के शेयर्स की डील कर रहे हैं। इमेजिन किया आपने, बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड सिचुएशन है, बट ये सच थी। 90 के दशक में शेयर्स खरीदना और बेचना, दलाल स्ट्रीट पे इसी तरीके से शेयर्स खरीदे और बेचे जाते थे। पर उसके बाद आए डिपॉजिटरीज, NSDL और CSDL। मैं बात करने वाला हूं आज CSDL के बारे में, सेंट्रल सिक्योरिटीज डिपॉजिटरी सर्विसेज लिमिटेड के बारे में। यहां पर हम बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज, जो कि एशिया की सबसे पुरानी स्टॉक एक्सचेंज है, 10th लार्जेस्ट स्टॉक एक्सचेंज पर, जहां 6000 से भी ज़्यादा कंपनीज लिस्टेड हैं, उसे मैनेज करता है CSDL। तो एक हिस्ट्री जो है CSDL की वो है दैट सेंट्रल डिपॉजिटरी सर्विसेज लिमिटेड, इट वाज फाउंड इन 1999। लाइक आई टोल्ड यू, 90 के दशक में चिल्ला चिल्ला के डील्स होती थी, बट देन केम इन डिपॉजिटरीज। जो भी आज हम डीमैट के थ्रू करते हैं, the transactions that we make quickly in a second is only possible because of the depositories. And over 2 decades later, everything that they have done, the value that they have built on is dematerialization of various asset class. They have e-services. That has all been a support of a singular goal at an affordable cost. Now it is a market infrastructure institution. So it is an infrastructure. Like you have to live, you need an infrastructure. When we have to do the trading of shares, we have to sell and we have to buy, we need an infrastructure. So CSDL, the depositories, they provide us the infrastructure and we create deals. The crucial part of the capital market structure is providing services to all market participants. What all are the participants of the market? It's an important question. First of all, the exchange, the Bombay Stock Exchange, the National Stock Exchange, Nsc and Bsc. I will also answer a bonus important question. Many times people ask me, what is the difference between Nsc and Bsc? Or the important question here is that can I sell a share that I bought on the Nsc on Bsc or vice versa, Bsc का Nsc पे और Nsc का Bsc पे? देखिए, सवाल यहाँ 2 पार्ट्स में है। शेयर जो होता है, आप जैसे ही खरीदते हैं उसे, वो एकदम से आपके डीमैट में क्रेडिट नहीं होता है। 2 दिन के बाद वो आपके डीमैट में क्रेडिट हो जाता है। जब तक शेयर आपके डीमैट में ही नहीं है, until the time the share is actually credited into your demat account, you have no opportunity to sell it on another stock exchange because you do not even have that share in your demat. But after E+2 days, where the share will be actually credited, you can sell on the other stock exchange. So clearly talking, intraday is not possible. If we are talking about inter-stock exchange, BSC on NSC, NSC on BSC, that is not possible when you are doing an intraday trade. It is only possible when you are on the same stock exchange because the shares are not credited. I bought it today, intraday I sold it in the same day. Can be done that I buy it on NSC and I sell it on NSC. I buy it on BSC, sell it on BSC. But after 2 days, buy on anyone and sell on any of the two. So CSDL is actually for Bombay Stock Exchange. And I already told you, the CSDL manages the Bombay Stock Exchange, the oldest stock exchange of Asia. And it has over 6,000 companies. But you will be surprised to know that the volume of trade, the trading that is done on NSC is way beyond that which is done on the Bombay Stock Exchange. But we will be talking about the services the depository has for you investors. Here the focus is not on what services it actually provides, the dematerialization of securities, management of funds. That is the service which it provides as a depository. Those are general services. But what services are there for you? I always ask my viewers, and now you, my fellow investors, you must ask a question: what is in it for me? And what is in CSDL for you? What services does CSDL provide? We're talking about the history. I've already told you the history of CSDL. I've told you the difference between NSC and BSC, NSDL and CSDL. On your screen, you will see the services by CSDL. You can see on your screen on the top, it's easy. We have easiest. We got smart, e-voting, m-voting, my easy mobile app, and we got e-locker. Now you need to understand there are some services you might find are not there on the screen, like e-CAS, which is the consolidated account statement. I mean, I've only covered this important services which you would be needing in a day-to-day basis. CAS is a simple statement consolidated of your shares of all the accounts that you have, various demat accounts you have with various depositories. Now, what is important? You might be going out from here and you have a demat account. First, you will need to know that you must have an account with CSDL to be able to operate these facilities. Now, I told you, CSDL has, the main target is easing the transaction of share trading. Now, easy is the step in that, e-voting. Now, earlier I told you what happened is that the trading was done on Dalal Street and the voting was done in huge auditoriums. There used to be the directors, the chairman of the company used to be telling people about various progress, and in the meetings there were ordinary resolutions, special resolutions. These were passed in the meetings itself. Now, in today's world where we want to be on different places in just a click, so why not e-voting? Csdl provides its participants to e-vote. If you have a share of, let's give an example, let's say Reliance Industries, you have one share of Reliance Industries or 10 shares, you want to participate in the voting, but you live in Delhi and the meeting happens in Mumbai. What would you do? Well, you can vote through the e-voting. So e-voting is an internet-based system through which the shareholders can firstly, they will log in, they will register their votes on the company's resolutions. What happens is whenever you have to go for an AGM or whenever there's a EGM, which is the Extraordinary General Meeting, and you always get the agenda of the meeting. There will be certain special resolutions, there will be certain ordinary resolutions. Maybe it's reappointment of directors, maybe it is acceptance of the financial statements, or maybe it is about any affairs of the company. Now earlier you had to sit in huge auditoriums and then you had to say, by saying agree, disagree, you would raise hands, and you would also have the voting on the, you used to write your vote and submit it. There was a facility of postal ballot. But now it is very simple. You sit at home, log in, register, and cast your vote easily on the e-voting by Csdl. Now, the system processes that, the system which is processing, and it will record your votes automatically, which facilitates faster processing of the voting results. I mean, earlier you used to raise your hands or you used to put in postal ballots. It was very difficult to process those votes and get the result. Now there's no counting, it is e-voting. You quickly cast your vote, the moment voting is done. Today you guys see when you have polls on LinkedIn, Facebook and Instagram, you click on the poll and as soon as the poll is over, you get the result. Where were the maximum votes casted? And interestingly, the moment you are voting, I'm only talking about social media right now, you get to see the results real time. But here, obviously, it is a very serious level of voting. So you will get the results as soon as the voting finishes. You get the processing, and the faster processing allows you to ensure that the voting is done by all the participants and a more clear and a crystal clear judgment is given by all the shareholders. Moving on, now let's talk about smart. It is actually smart, as you can see from the name. SMS alerts related to transactions. Now, SMS alert facility Smart enables the BOs registered for this facility to receive SMS alerts in case of any debits or credits related to corporate action or any change in demographic details in their accounts. Okay, this is the crystal definition. Now let's understand this facility on the grassroots level. Now Smart is like you will get SMS alerts of what? Firstly, it is corporate actions. That the company you have invested in, company ने कोई corporate action किया, कोई buyback किया, कोई company को take over किया, किसी company को बेच दिया. जैसे कि अगर आपके पास टाटा का शेयर है, आपने टाटा के लिए फिर आपने स्मार्ट के लिए रजिस्टर किया, corporate action हुआ, उन्होंने जैगुआर लैंड रोवर को take over किया, वो मैसेज आपको आएगा. अब इन मैसेजेस से क्या होता है? The most important thing is how updated you are. Understand investment at a very very precise level. I see when people invest in the stock market, they think of it on a very huge level, as if they are making a very huge deal out of it. But reality is very simple. Like I have some money in my pocket and I have 5 friends sitting here. First thing I would see that who all are presenting a good idea to me. Like if somebody says, I want to spend it on my vacation, somebody says, I want a loan for my marriage, somebody says, I want loan for my business, and somebody, like 3 of them say, I want it for business. So I would quickly hear that the money he is taking from me, he's taking to invest, and he will make money out of it, and out of that, he will pay my share. Similarly, when you are investing into shares, you're paying money to the company. And who's running the company? The directors. So you have to always ensure the directors that you're investing in, you should have a clear faith here. Now, out of the three, my decision is even more clear, that whosoever will give me the most believable statement, I'm using the word believable, जिस पे भी मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा भरोसा है, मैं अपना पैसा उस दोस्त को दूंगा. ऐसे ही आपको शेयर्स खरीदने हैं जिस पे सबसे ज़्यादा भरोसा है. और भरोसा कभी सिर्फ फीलिंग्स पे नहीं, प्रैक्टिकल फैक्ट्स पे आपको भरोसा करना होता है. और स्मार्ट वही फैक्ट सीधा आपके मोबाइल में ला के देगा आपको. एक SMS आएगा एंड यू विल नो what corporate actions have been taken. It's magical because earlier people used to say whosoever is more aware makes most money in the market, but today being aware is a choice. It is not a matter of resources anymore, because if you're registered for smart, you will get the SMS, and of course you'll be able to take more precise decisions and more informed decisions. I always agree with what many leaders of the business say. There is no right or wrong decision in this world. You just take the decision and prove it right or wrong. But then if there's nothing right or wrong, how do you take better decisions? When you're more informed. And being informed will be possible by the smart facility. Now, moving on to easy. As its name, it is actually very easy. It is electronic access to securities information, an internet-based facility that allows beneficiary owner to monitor their Csdl demat account at a place and time of their choosing. Easy also provides details of corporate announcements for ISINs held in their account, as well as 25 additional ISINs. Now, let's understand easy. Now, if I say that it is at a place of your choosing, at a time of your choosing, I see it on the market every day. Youngsters are investing very aggressively in the market these days. So if I talk about people who are born, who are young and they are dynamically aware, so when I say at a time or place of your choosing, it is nothing new for you. You know, if it is something online, I can do it at a time and place of my choosing. What is important for you is, it is information relating to your securities. I have the screens that you would need. I will show you the screens where you need to go and check your account. Now, you should always keep an eye on your resources. If you have the resource, then you need to find out what securities do I have in my account. What kind of returns are being what kind of returns I'm able to extract out of the securities I have in my account. People search for information. Now imagine around, I am again talking about 90s, when people used to invest. Our parents used to make us sit on the, in the back study room, open the annual reports, take the newspapers, read around 50-page newspaper to understand that there's one important information. There used to be a huge, colored newspaper which used to come at our homes when we were young. We used to study that to find those small information, small changes in the companies, the graphs that were played, market capitalization study. Now, to do that, you don't need to have so many resources. You don't need to go through unnecessary resources. So what does this do, which is not written on any website? I'm telling this from my own understanding. It reduces crowding. There's a lot of crowding of information. Today, I totally respect the generation of the day, because they are using search engines like Google and big search engines available today on a crowded information. When we were young, if something was written on Google, we used to say, तुझे बात पे भरोसा नहीं है, जा Google पे check कर ले. It used to be a symbol of assurance that it is available on Google. But today we all know a lot of good information and bad information, everything is available. So instead of going into the crowded information of newspapers, magazines, and maybe you even go on internet web searches, how about just go into your easy account, check your investments and check what performance have they done. You want to see the trend? See the trend. You want to go ahead of the trend? Follow something new, create new things. Just need your easy account. Make sure you operate that account with very much precision. Now you see the screen. This is the CDSL screen. It is the easy services. So for all you can do, you can see in blue, you monitor your demat account from here. I already told you, you can view and print the transaction holdings. So if you want to keep a track of every month's holdings, just go in the My Easy and you will be able to print whatever transaction holdings were there. Now you can stay updated with the latest valuation. This is the most important part. Now, what happens when you talk about valuation? The valuation of shares is something we study on a daily basis, but we have to go into the shares and we have to explore the entire market. Again, crowding will be reduced. You can check this right here. You do not need to open 10 tabs on your on your web browser. It's only one tab and you'll get everything. You can edit your profile. That is a feature which we all need if you want to make small changes. You can view multiple demat accounts with single login ID. I already told you I've missed CAS, but I've already covered it, consolidated account statements. So you have multiple demat accounts. You also can have multiple demats accounts for different reasons. Like in income tax, you have an option of treating an investment like a capital investment. Like for capital gains, it is an investment. Or you want to treat it as like stock in trade. This is because you want to treat the income coming in into the business income. Now you can access the consolidated account statement, and you have the e-locker facility. What is e-locker facility? We'll learn very soon. Now moving on, you can see on your screen how to register for Easy. So you would have your BO ID, your password, and then you tell them that you're not a robot by ticking this button, and then you will get to the next page. Now you can see the web link is down there. You can make a note of it. It is https://web.csdlindia.com. when my easy home and login. You will log into this page, and now we'll talk about easiest. We'll come to my easy and you'll see more screenshots there. Easiest is like, what was easy? Electronic access to security information. What is easiest? Easiest is the most easy. That means it will also allow you to execute security transactions. So for easy, you would just, I told you can view the statements, you can check out what all you have, what is the valuation, but you could not view the transactions. It is an internet-based facility which allows BOs to submit debit instructions through the internet, thus obviating the need of visiting their DP offices to submit instruction slips. Now let's go back again to the 90s. As I told you, 90s mein what we used to do is go to the Dalal Street, shout, and then there was a slip which was filled. If I had to sell my parents' shares, I had to go and submit scripts, and the slips were submitted even after the depositories came in picture. Until I think early 2000 as well, we used to submit slips. But what happens here? It is easiest. You just execute the transactions on the easiest, on the same place you're looking at the information, and that there and then your debit transaction is executed. No need to go anywhere else. कहीं और जाने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. इसी ऐप पे बैठेंगे, यहीं लॉगिन करेंगे, यहीं का यहीं बेचेंगे, यहीं का यहीं खरीद लेंगे. So easiest is execution of securities transaction. Now moving on, the mobile app. This is revolutionary if we think from the point of view of people who have sold on the on the Dalal Street, on the huge rooms they used to shout, or maybe you have done demat transaction where you used to open the screen and there was red and blue flashing all the time. But for today's generation, they want everything on their mobile. So yes, on your smartphones you can use My Easy mobile app, a mobile app for beneficiary owners registered for Easy or Easiest. Mobile app by Csdl is designed with adaptive technology such that it fits in all smartphones, tablets, screen size. Whatever your screen size is, it will fit accordingly. Investors can log into the app using their Easy or Easiest login credentials. Csdl app can be downloaded by Android and iOS based mobile devices. Now we'll see very carefully. This is the mobile interface where you will log in. This is the Easy mobile interface. Then you can see the holding details. You see that when you click on these three lines that you see on the left, top left, you see there are holding details. You can make transaction inquiries. Then there are corporate announcement, which we talked about in Smart. We have miscellaneous. We can freeze and obviously change password. These are administrative features. Then if you see the next screen, you see the holdings that have been listed very carefully. You can see all your holdings, like you have what shares are there, what is the current pricing, and what is the valuation. Moving on to the next part, you can also go ahead and access other features, see your transaction details. You can also have the facilities like account details. You can edit profile, edit the notification type, Then your groupings. I told you, the income tax of India gives you an opportunity to treat a particular holding as an investment, or even they allow you to treat that particular investment as a stock in trade. Now this is majorly, you do not have to give any proofs of that. You just need to treat something, and just because a person has treated, the department considered it good enough that it has to be accepted. But people, for their own understanding, they actually ensure that they have groupings. Like some shares they are holding for profit minting, some they have for dividend, some debentures are held for interest, some debentures are held for trading. This is how it happens. Now if you see the screen, you would see that you can also reset the password right here. You do not need to go on this website and go and reset the password. And moving on, this was the mobile app. I told you about Easy, I told you about Easiest. Now what is eLocker? Important question with an easy answer. eLocker is an online document storage facility to store important documents in electronic form at one central secure location. This facility is available for easy and easiest users. Now we're going to sum up what we have done, and there's just some natural features we'll conclude. After that, we'll just go through the natural features of the demat account, of the Csdl. And Csdl is also a listed company, so if you have faith in Csdl, you can invest in their shares too. I think it was, I've not checked the price from some time, but then it is a regularly traded share. The Csdl is a listed company, and you can buy in and trade in the shares. So the natural functions of a depository: they give you demat accounts, perfect, dematerialization of physical security certificates, because this is the basic reason of bringing in depositories, that the share certificates were held in actual earlier. So the problems were that they used to be oiled, broken, they were lost, they were obtained by somebody else. So just to, just getting rid of all that, dematerialization was done, and this was the most important, and there was the central reason of bringing in depositories. Then rematerialization of electronic securities, processing delivery and receipt instructions, pledging of securities. You can pledge them against you if you want to buy, if you want to take a loan or something against them. Facilitating change in address or bank account details linked with the demat account. So, in a nutshell, every investment holds an inherent risk. The earnings you deserve depends on your learning and experience. Please ensure have sharp knowledge and tailor-made consultations for your deals for best results. Now let's just forget about all that we've done. We'll always remember these points. Now I'm going to give you the last and important part of the entire services. Whatever these resources are, whatever services we can take from we can take from NSDL, CSDL, MyEasy. The decision you take is something that only you have to live with. Remember carefully, whatever decision you take. For example, I told you, you go for the MyEasy app, somebody gave you a tip. Tip is a very common word youngsters use these days. They tell us that I got a tip, you buy in this share and it will be expensive by the evening or by the 10 months and I will be rich. And suddenly after 10 months he comes with a frowned face and says the share is in loss. Why? Because whosoever gave you the tip, he has to live in with the investment that he or she has made. But you, my friend, have to live in with the entire investment that you have made. So the decision ultimately needs to be taken yourself. Secondly, you will always try and take more and more informed decisions. I told you about different applications. Go to MyEasy app. You can use eLocker to store your documents, but then I give you MyEasy. Today you go in, if you have a demat account, you are a beneficiary owner of any shares, you go in and register your MyEasy application. But what will you do with it if it is the decisions that you have to take are based on other people? Now, the important part here is, this is just some bonus information that I'm sharing with you. And this is one of the tips that you can say. This is a great tip. The shares are also used for tax benefits. It is not evasion, it is just tax planning. You can see what shares are there in loss. So if you are doing market transactions in profit, you are able to ensure that you earn the profit out of it. But If you are having transactions in loss, don't be worried about it. The transactions that you make in loss will also ensure that you're able to, claim that loss against the profit, and your tax can be neutralized. Whatever loss you've made, you can buy other shares and make profit later on. You should book your incomes and losses both in the share market, and investment is a game of learning and then earning. You need to learn. A lot of patience is required. Do not be disheartened if a few securities do not play out according to you. Just be calm, keep on your head straight, and keep investing. Use the facilities I've told you. I will now tell you that in the risk that you have taken, you can only get the rewards if you take the decisions yourself. And how would you take the decisions? By learning more. And these apps and resources are the best things you can get in today's world to make your learning count. This was me, Nakul Arora, signing off. I had a great time today. I hope you had learning and your learning is elevated. Until next time, I'll see you again. Thank you.
Are you a fresh graduate? Do you want to fulfill your educational aspiration by pursuing higher education in various interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary areas like environmental science, environment and occupational health, philosophy, sustainability science, folklore and culture studies? If yes, the School of Interdisciplinary and Transdisciplinary Studies offers various programs like Master's Program, Graduate Program, Postgraduate Diploma, Certificate and Appreciation Program. The school offers 5 Master's Programs. Master of Science, Environmental Science. The eligibility criteria for MSc Environmental Science is Graduate in Science, BTech, BE, Agriculture Graduate, Forestry Graduate and Veterinary Graduate. School also offers Masters in Environment and Occupational Health, Masters in Sustainability Science, Masters in Philosophy and Masters in Folklore and Culture Studies. The eligibility criteria for these 4 Masters program is graduate in any discipline. School also offers various socially relevant and need-based PG Diploma program like PG Diploma in Sustainability Science, PG Diploma in Environment and Occupational Health, PG Diploma in Folklore and Culture Studies and PG Diploma in Migration and Diaspora Studies. The school also offers PG Certificate in Climate Change and Avshist Prabandhan mein Praman Patra. The school also offers 2 doctoral programs, PhD in Environmental Science and PhD in Interdisciplinary and Transdisciplinary Studies. The school offers various innovative technologies and multimedia for providing a very excellent student support system. The study material is of high quality. The learner support is provided through Gyan Darshan, Gyan Vani, IRC, Swayam Prabha and Swayam channel of IGNOU. For more detail, please log in to IGNOU website. For online admission in these programs, visit school site and also the Samarth online education portal of IGNOU. So please join these programs and fulfill your educational aspiration.
We wear clothes on a daily basis.
But have we ever wondered, where do our clothes come from? Who makes our clothing? And who are the people and the process responsible for the whole manufacturing of our clothing? If you want to know more about this, Indira Gandhi National Open University from the School of Continuing Education has launched a program which is Certificate in Apparel Merchandising. There are many benefits after doing this program. You can become a designer in various fields. It can be fashion designer, apparel designer, costume designer, or even a textile designer. One can also work as a fashion consultant. Research and development is another field which one can take up after doing this certificate course. Going into academics is another perk after doing this program. Getting into fashion houses or fashion studios as an intern is also a very good option post doing the certificate in apparel merchandising. The basic eligibility of the program is 10+2. The duration of the program is 6 months to 2 years. The program is also available for both the admission cycles, which is July and January. The exams are conducted twice a year, in June and December. So what are you waiting for? Join this program and get an enriching knowledge in the field of apparel merchandising. And to do so, you can log on to the official website of the university, www.ignou.ac.in.
Welcome all the viewers. Myself, Professor Ashok Gaba from School of Vocational Education and Training, and along with me, Professor R.S.P. Singh, Director, School of Vocational Education and Training. Welcome you all where you are. Today, we will be discussing our topic that is a part of your MA Entrepreneurship program. And you may be student already registered and busy for preparing examination, as well as those viewers, those who are watching this program are interested to have a registration with this particular program. For them, let me first welcome all of the viewers, those who requested us to bring this topic for discussion today, that is market assessment for SME. Before coming to the point of discussion regarding this market assessment is concerned, and I expect from all the students, those who are in this program are busy for preparing examination, but the request made by them to assignment issues related to practical and project works in particular context, that is market assessment. As viewers, those who are not having this non-economics background, they might be having some conceptual difficulties to understand the market assessment is concerned. And if you are studying, then there may be an effective demand that's called equal to aggregate demand and aggregate supply. So aggregate demand is, suppose you are a learners and you demanded to buy a one ice cream, and this is your individual demand. When the 100 learners, 100 students or consumers want to buy this particular ice cream, it becomes market demand. So let me explain the live example of market demand before coming to in-depth discussion with me. Dr. Singh will explain. And second point is assignments is concerned, because learners are submitting the assignments. For them, I would like to say that most of the assignments are under evaluations, and their marks will be uploaded on our IGNOU web page. And third point is there, students have already registered third semesters, because you have to register for the third semesters. Our admission process is on, and you can visit for further discussions on our IGNOU web page, that is www.ignou.ac.in. So I will not take much time, and this is a course for discussion is MER 06, that is called Management of New and Small Enterprises. Under that, block 4 is block 1 is called is Establishing Small and Medium Enterprises. And Dr. Saab, you please highlight the content, that is how to market assess for establishing small and medium enterprises.
Thank you, Professor Gaba. As I have mentioned, for today's sessions, we are going to discuss in detail those students who are going to appear in this second semester exam, for them also, and for those who will be appearing next time, for them to make the things clear. We organize these sessions time to time, either on through Gyan Darshan or through IRC. So on today's topic, we are going to discuss about assessment of market for the MSME. Means any persons, any individuals or any companies want to establish a firm, or for whether it is a manufacturing or whether it is a service, one has to go very rigorous process. On its own, they cannot establish any firm or start the doing the service if it is they are targeting to the service sectors, and they start doing without doing any assessment, any research activities. So there will be very much possibility that that their products or their services may not reach to the target or the clientele groups to whom he is or she is targeting. So assessment is very important part, because any firm, any agencies doesn't exist in isolation. It is a very complex phenomena. One has to depend upon the market assessment, their consumers' behaviors, what is the consumer attitude is there, how is the products, is there any other competitors are there, if the similar type of product is already there, then what he can think for, is it any something gaps, or is the customer is not satisfied. So covering those aspects. So market assessment covers basically those aspects over there before launching of any firm. So detailed different aspects are there. In these sessions, we will try to make our learners aware about what does it mean exactly the market assessment, what are the factors to be covered while doing the assessments. Because as we were saying, suppose if you are as an entrepreneur and you are thinking to establish whether it is any automobile sectors or any service sectors, so you just do the studies over there. There are different way. First, you have to conduct the study if some similar type of products are already there. So why you are thinking for coming for the another products or any alternative products, means must be the customers are not satisfied with that products. Then one can think for the better alternative, because as on date, since it's if you see the market concepts are there, the customer is the king. So unless until we know what is the need for the customer, what are their choice, what are the attitude. So in the assessment part, we generally cover that aspects in deep, whether either the firm itself can do such type of a study, or they can hire some agencies are there which conduct such type of studies.
So what I understand from the learner perspective, this topic is very, very interesting. And why learners are joining with IGNOU or this particular program? The program is if somebody had got degree, some vocational programs, and they learn from their skills and competencies from the School of Vocational Education and Training. They want to now start up their business.
Some idea they have.
They have. So they particularly, there are different sectors for establishing their startups. It may be apparel sectors, textile sectors, automobile sectors, and we have other
service
sector as well. But the point is, it all depends upon so many factors for marketing assessment.
Yeah.
I want to set up a particular this startups business or small industry to production of particular goods and services. First, I have to analyze the demand. So the most important factors may be this first financial, in other than financial perspective, that is consumer demand. What I am producing, consumer is this consumption pattern is there, that particular geographical pattern, because you are establishing industry in a pattern of this northeast regions and demand is in southern region.
Yeah.
If you see the total distance, then transportation cost will be a huge challenge. So there are other factors. I think I understand there are so many factors from learner perspective, those who are doing this program, and they are asking for this. What are those factors and details you have to see market orientation for this particular course?
Before doing the assessment, if you see in general market orientations, how is the market? We should understand the concepts of the market, where is the process, or it's a place where some exchanges happen, some deliveries are there, some communications happen. So these things happen at the marketplace. The market orientations in the two aspects. First is the one can understand that's only when we talk about the product part. When it is a product part, then it means we are talking in the terms of what the firms is looking for, which type of products he is thinking for, and once the products are decided, one can think for the services, how is the customers looking for. We have to think about how is the customers is really interested for that product or not, without realizing. And if we launch any products, that doesn't make any sense. So before launching any products or services, we should understand the interest, the need of that product is there or not. Once it is there, then you can think further in the different terms, as you are rightly mentioned, with the geographical aspects. The distance is very important. If it is suppose it is any product you have launched it and it's very far, so cost will be there, and the other competitor will come, and your product won't compete with that competitors. In that case, your products will be failed to deliver, or you cannot be sustain in the market for the long time with the loss. So keeping those things in mind, you have to see how is the market is oriented. Then you have to think the other aspects, particularly the market is different than the selling also.
So two aspects what I understand is come out through discussion for this market assessment. Why should we do this market assessment, and what are the important factors are responsible for this market assessment? And that come out 2 points for that through our discussions. First is the competitors, those who are in the market competitors, and same product are being produced and sale in the particular geographical region. And second point, the geographical region itself, because in that particular regions, I have a classical example of this demand is suddenly arises, and there is no competitors. Environmental factors or even unforeseen climate change, COVID-19 situations are there. All of a sudden,
demand.
The market is started to sell the mask, particular that all of global scenario. Immediately mass productions started, and lot of competitors come up in the market. And then third is, I am giving you a classical example here. This for instance, and there is a huge traffic jam in a road and national highways, and there is a blockage of construction due to this weather disturbance, and huge people nearby know these shops or to buy the goods or food or to survive 12 hours of 24 hours. So you can't set up immediately this demand to cater the needs, because no transportation for small scale industries to reach that particular demand. So under that situation, a natural way, some business opportunities, threats and opportunity emerge. They're there. So this technology to intervention is there, so that they identified nearby some small scale industry, for instance water need. When some weather change, all of a sudden that area need water, and drinking water is not available nearby. In a huge jungle, forest area, and the traffic is going on, and then this nearby no small scale industry is there. You can't establish within that. So our purpose of market assessment is two factors: constant factors and current factors. So constant factor, that is there when already residential purpose or every consumer or well settled geographical area, they are demanding their regular day-to-day daily needs, goods and services. Under that directions, we have to establish our small scale medium enterprises and three sectors: manufacturing sectors and service sector, to cater the needs. So I think you explained briefly for our viewers that will be beneficial. They can go through our study materials, that is sure. And they can also, we suggested a lot of study materials with our text units where further readings. But the point which they will not be able to understand through reading for self-study, because they are going to appear exam shortly, they will ask the important point, and which you explain here, what are the important factors there.
Factors. Exactly, just now we were explaining and discussing that first of all, one has to go see which products will be suited over there, what is the demand, new demands are there or something alternative. Then the other aspect is what is the total volume will be needed. So unless until you know how much the quantity is needed, up to what extent it is needed. Suppose we can cite an example. There was one brand was there. We all as a learners, and we all know there was a huge demand for the scooter. One time Bajaj scooter was so much in demand. So all of a sudden there was a huge demand, and this company was not able to supply. And what happened, even recent day also, now these days as we were discussing how to meet all of sudden demands. Recently now we all depend upon lot of dependency, our consumers are dependency on the mobile phone. So all of a sudden you will see certain brands demand, all of a sudden with the features they put it on the market, in the domain, in the public domain, their demand will be there, and you will now people wait for certain time so that to get this. So these things relate to the total volume, how much you want. So if you do such type of a study, you can reap maximum advantage out of it. What will be the such products which is newly launched, and if you know how much quantity will be there, that will help you in scale, at what scale you want to produce it. So that otherwise generally it's happen, if the consumer won't get the products on time, that person will leave it and start seeing what is the alternative things are there. Suppose you won't get the products on this times, so your customer base will be losing there. So in that case, if you do study, make the scale so that your products launched in the market in time.
So there is I think the factors we are discussing in addition to geographical factors and competitors, and third point which now come up from your this explanation from the learner perspective, that is total volume. What type of total volume to be required in particular region. Under that, in my
so
point
until you know
so identify the product first.
Product
identification of the product is very, very important for the market assessment. And then type of customer, because all product whomsoever we are producing is all depends upon the customer taste, income, and there are two important factors, and that should be kept in mind when we are producing and set up the industry. So market assessment is the third important factor, in addition to we discussed that is consumers paying capacity, consumption. So that point you can explain. Then time durations. That is short-term demand or long-term demand.
Long-term.
That's also important factors.
Unless until you know how much this demand will sustain in the market. Suppose some products are very short-lived. It will be there for a very certain time, and you produced so much of these things, it will be wastage for you, this thing. So you have to see, you have to analyze the things these products will. There, for example, in the fashion, if we know that this brand, this type of pattern or this type of style will confine to the winter season only, and if we produced so much of these things, so it will go waste, and it will cost to the ultimately to the company. Either that company will be in the loss, or the you have to make the pricing will be, again it will vary. So depending upon how much time it will be there, what's the time durations for certain products, you have to keep those things in mind.
Yeah, because of you explain very nicely this conceptual framework of marketing assessments for SMEs. But the most important factor, which I think we not covered in your text material as well, because some of the most important, what I perceived, is incentives. And from the incentives from the government incentive, they are giving a lot of concession for these particular products. For instance, health-based products. So this during COVID-19, government has given a lot of incentives to vaccine. For a classical example, we have, and then doses. This medicine we have a classical example. But in other way, non-health sectors, there are so many sectors we're discussing. This automobile industry, or we had discussing the textile, health sectors.
Service.
If you go in your agriculture sector, and if you see seasonal demand, and when you have given example of this textile winter sale or summer sales, we can't wear the clothes of this some winter in during this cotton, and cotton to winter this woolen sweats. This all depends. We can't eat ice cream during minus temperatures, for example, is there. But the point is here, when you are going to establish this industry in particular geographical region, and the market assessment factors, time durations, or we are discussing consumer total volume of the product to be produced and need. For instance, today, 2 days before, the Maruti company come out new model of your this product. This they have given features, they have given some designing cost. So cost is most important factors which we are having discussing here. That second unit will be discussing detail. But in this discussion, market assessment, cost of the product, that should come out as more important factors. And that's the sale is, you see, they said they are going to launch this product. How to do market assessment? First, this is classical day-to-day practical example.
Who are the competitors?
Who are the competitors?
Of that segment.
Yeah. So I design a one vehicle, and that is as Maruti recently is launching, and then that design is feature design or any vehicle. Any vehicle. So government sector vehicles are there, and they are competing with the private sector. More features, less cost, and then they say, let us see, we launch this product, and how much demand is there. So they assess till to date, last week, they found 1 lakh vehicle booked, whatever features were there, what is the cost. So they have no market assessment. We have to produce this much. We stopped now this registration for the consumer point of view. We have to produce and then sell this particular product in time. Otherwise, our market image, time duration factor,
customer satisfaction
will not. So that is very important point for any small scale medium enterprises. Lot of company enters and they start their product and disappear. So if long term sustainability in the market for this particular product, you have to keep in mind this customer taste and demand and time period, because time commitment is very, very important in addition to the cost. So these two factors which I would like to place here to be considered as a discussion point. And students, I think those who are viewing this program, they can study their self-study material. We covered all the aspects. We can't bring to all together this content and within this half an hour time to explain to you. But your point was raised by this particular case. Other important point you were discussing the assessment in agriculture sector. Can to throw out the highlights on that?
Agriculture, as we were discussing, that the policy, the government subsidy, what are the policy aspects are there. Recently now government is now focusing how to double the income of the farmers groups. That is the one important aspects now as a policy aspect it is there. So this can be as a firm or agency in the agriculture or in a allied sector. One can take it that what are the measures, what are the service sectors, what are the products we can one can bring it in the marketplace, so that which directly or indirectly helps the farmers or those persons allied in the agriculture discipline, to which will add on their income. There are lot of measures are there, suppose agriculture inputs are already there, technologies are there, which being provided by the agriculture universities, research labs, which they provides this such type of informations to the farmers through different mechanisms. There is systems, extension systems are there, which through there is one schemes now lab to land. Now, again, government is focusing on such type of things, that any informations which is latest in agriculture sectors, which has been identified, which has been developed, how this technology, how this information pass to the end users, maybe the farmers. So suppose such type of policy or certain government subsidies are there, and if you keeping those things in mind and you start producing certain things, that definitely that firm will be in the positions to make benefit and make profit out of it. So such type of things also you can consider in mind.
Thank you, Dr. Singh. I think the last I received one questions from the student perspective. They're asking, sir, this how to analyze competitive situation in a market trend. So first, how many firms are in a competition when we are going to meet them, and second, what are their market product? We have to see, analyze the market competitive strength and weaknesses of that particular product.
Products already.
Yeah, so that is the point what we would like to throw out this our discussions. I'm sure the viewers who are watching this program might have enjoyed the discussions. That is how to market assess for setting up small and medium enterprises. That is course MA06. For further discussion, further clarification, you can contact to us. That is maer@ignou.ac.in. Or for further details of our program, those who are interested to register for this particular program can see our details that are available on IGNOU webpage. That is www.ignou.ac.in. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are you interested in television journalism or radio journalism or online journalism? Or do you want to learn with the flexibility of open learning? Or if you are a working professional, wants to enhance your knowledge and skill with certification in the field of electronic media, then School of Journalism and New Media Study, IGNOU, offers PG Diploma in Electronic Media for you. This program includes audio and audio-visual program production for radio, television and online platforms. Here are some important details about the program. We have total 8 courses of 32 credits, 6 theory courses, 1 practical and 1 project. Eligibility: bachelor's degree in any subject. Minimum duration 1 year, maximum 3 years. Medium is English, but students can write their examinations, assignments, practical and project in Hindi also. So if you are interested in television, radio or online media, please come and join IGNOU's PG Diploma in Electronic Media.
hello learners, welcome to this online session. Today I'm going to talk about a very, very important course which is entitled DCE4 Writing for Media, which will include radio and television both. And today's topic is of relevance today, I think, because nowadays we talk about digital era, digital media, and there is no denying the fact that we are living into a very cybernetic world, digital world, hypertextual world, which is completely, I would say, overwhelmed by digitization. So today's topic, which is concerning the DCE4 course, let me give you an overview of what this course is all about. This course, which is entitled DCE4, Writing for Media, Television and Radio, is part of a diploma program which we are offering, and this diploma program is, entitled Diploma in Creative Writing in English. And this diploma program has got 6 courses, and out of those 6 courses, there are 2 compulsory courses. DCE1, which deals with the principles of writing, and DCE6, which is a project work. So these 2 courses are, essential compulsory courses for this diploma program. And DCE4, which I'm going to talk about today, happens to be one of the optional courses from this diploma program. So DCE2 deals with, writing short story. DCE3 deals with writing features, 2 with features, 3 with writing novels, and today the topic which I'm going to talk about is obviously concerning writing for media. So this includes, writing scripts for both media as well as television. So when we talk about media, it includes both electronic as well as print media. So let me give you an overview of what is this diploma program all about. So this diploma program, gives you a training of writing skills, and it is for essentially those people who are having interest, developing their career as a professional writer. So this is a right program which really gives you skills of writing, which it will teach you. It will preach you, it will give you about professional knowledge, It will also develop, creative ability, of those who are interested in making a professional career as a freelance writer. So this is going to be a very wonderful program. And the topic which I'm going to talk about is, which is concerning, DCE4, writing for media, Before that, let me also tell you that this program, which is entitled, Diploma in Creative Writing in English, you will be, given a proper training of writing skills, skills in relation to, I would say, 5 important courses, which is writing feature articles. You'll be also taught about writing short stories, and writing for media, where you'll be taught about scripts for writing both television as well as media. And finally, you'll be also taught about writing poetry. So today's topic, which is concerning about concerning media, can be divided into 2 parts. As I told you earlier also, that's the media which we're talking about includes 2 things, print media and electronic media. So today I'm going to talk about, electronic media, where I'm going to talk about writing for media, writing for media, and in the next class I'll be talking about writing for television, So this course, I would say, is completely an updated course, updated course in the sense that it has got updation of the latest happenings in the field of media, and it deals with electronic media, and is basically, I would say, an introduction to the field of script writing for both television as well as media. So those of you who are interested in learning script writing for television and media, I think for them this course is a wonderful course. So we will train you to write scripts for radio as well as television, both aspects. Now, when we talk about radio, let me tell you that radio has become nowadays a medium of mass communication. There is no doubt about it. I mean, though we are overwhelmed with a lot of channels, television channels. However, I mean, there is no denying the fact that radio is also playing equally important role even today. And when you talk about media, media is everywhere. We find media is everywhere, and it has become part and parcel of our life. Okay, and media is the one which really has potential to shape personality, to really give an identity and give a new kind of a twist to the knowledge of understanding the world, knowledge of understanding the present reality. So therefore, media is playing a very, very significant role in shaping not only our personality but also shaping our perception or understanding of the whole world itself. So when I'm talking about radio, as I told you, is also playing equal important role, as important as I would say television or other channels or other sources. When we talk about the media, as I told you, it has got print media as well as electronic media. Earlier what happened was, print media played very, very important role. So when we talk about print media included like newspapers, magazines, journals. So before we had, I would say, electronic media, print media was playing very, very important role. And it was through the print media that knowledge was disseminated. So learning process was happening through, I would say, print media, through newspapers, journals, even books, they are also part of this. Okay. So when I'm talking about the importance of radio, radio has become an important aspect of mass communication, because when we talk about mass communication, mass communication is a terminology which has got an American concept, okay, and it was derived in the 1960s, early 1960s, and what we have witnessed is that in the last 5 decades, I would say, it has played very, very important role, and it has almost revolutionized the impersonal communication and its technology. And let me also tell you about the fact that before the term, radio became popular, there were, of course, various other modes of mass communications, and like we had public lectures, okay, demonstrations, we had cinema, radio, and television, you can say. But intensive research went into this domain of knowledge, you can say, and also what we witness is that there has been a great transformation, not only in the realm of social happenings, but also in the realm of psychological understanding also. And media has really shaped the understanding of the people. Even youngsters, they are having a profound impact of media in their lives. I mean, we can't deny the fact that in each and every family we are having children, who are nowadays, very much busy with their own, I would say, either be it mobile phones or the other electronic pads, So thus we can witness that it has become a very part and parcel of our life. So we cannot deny the role of media in our life, okay? So when you're talking about, the significance of the radio, when we, of the all kinds of modes that we are having, of mass communication, radio is still, I would say, the most immediate and also most widespread, aspect, okay, which is present in India, okay? And take, for example, supposing there has been an incident, a major train accident which occurred, and if it has occurred after 1 hour, suppose at night, 1 o'clock at night, okay, at night, so it will be known to the people, to the readers through newspapers only maybe the morning next after 2 days, okay. But what happens with radio is that, this news is reflected immediately. So we get the news of this accident through radio. Though we are having nowadays televisions also which are playing very important role. But there is no less importance of I would say radio here. So on radio immediately anything can come live, you can say. So that is another important feature of radio. That through radio learning processes happening, and particularly in the realm of education, I would say. Radio is playing very, very important role, as a medium of mass communication, also radio has become, still become, I would say, the fastest, you can say, aspect, modes of communication in India. And it has the most widespread reach almost everywhere. And there is also, one essential characteristics about this radio, that it is, it has become ubiquitous. Okay, so ubiquity is one of the important aspects of this radio. And also, as a medium of mass communication, radio has got many unique features. Okay, it is an audio medium, radio, okay, and also with the invention of like a stereophonic radios or recordings which we have, also frequency modulations which we have. It also brings, sound waves, I would say, sound waves to listeners in almost utmost perfection, okay. And now that we are having new technologies, okay, so which have improved radio listening to a greater extent in recent years as well. So when you look at the importance of radio, it brings very different kind of sound waves to listeners in almost utmost perfection, okay. And we've seen the important role of technology also, which is playing a very important role, you can say. And although we are having visuals, okay, on television, okay, and they have, added a new dimension, okay, a new attractive dimension to the newscast, because seeing is believing. And the news, okay, over radio has, more immediately, you can say, bulletins being more frequent than on television. However, when we're talking about, significance of media, obviously we can see that, TVs are playing a very far more important role today. But when we're talking about media, radio is one of the modes of communication, which when we talk about its origin, you can say it got originated in 1960s, you can say. So in the past 50 to 60 years, I think it has played a very important role. It's only now that we are witnessing, digital platforms in the form of various kinds of TVs, okay, televisions which we are having, okay, different kinds of television channels we are having. But before that, I would say that print media has undoubtedly played a very important role in disseminating information. Okay, it has played very important role in the learning process of the life. Okay, and it has revolutionized almost the life of the people. Okay, so before television came into origin, you can say, we did talk about the importance of radio. So people nowadays, somehow they are trying to, demean the importance of radio. That is not the fact. You can even now, when you talk about in the context of, India. Okay, see, in India we are having almost 60 to 70% people living in villages, and though we are having electricity, televisions, but still we find people, taking resort to radio. They listen to radio programs, in the evenings after coming back home from their tired life, tiresome life, they take, relaxation, they feel very relaxed listening to songs, okay, listening to some of the programs, particularly agricultural farmers. For them, radio is very helpful. Okay, they listen to particular specific programs which are which are telecast live, okay, on radio. So they always come, and almost maybe on the regular basis they listen to all those programs. So radio therefore has not only played a significant role in disseminating information to the students only, but also to the people. Okay. Just to give you an example of farmers, even take the example of women also living in rural areas. They also, listen to some of the old songs. They have their own programs also. Okay, so kids, so be it kids, youngsters, be it students, be it workers or farmers, all of them take advantage of this radio. So we cannot simply downplay the importance of radio. So because radio is still playing a very important role, particularly when we look at its importance in Indian scenario. So therefore, what I mean to say is that when we try to compare radio with television or other digital modes of communication, obviously they are coming up with translated, technologies, okay, television channels or other channels. Okay, now we are having internet, social media is there, so people are taking resort to social media. But that doesn't mean that radio has been downplayed. No, we must give equal importance to radio as well when we are looking at the importance of media, because media is playing very, very important role, particularly when we look at the social media today. Okay, so that's playing a very, very important role. So now when we look at the print media, radio and print media, so the pleasures from radio listening, like TV, TV viewing, are just more like passing, nature than reading newspapers or periodicals and books. And one can really keep a clipping or a photocopy of newspaper, okay, or magazine articles for rereading or further use. But when it comes to like listening to radio, what happens is that, although one can, tape a news commentary of a array, okay, but hardly anybody does that. There are people, of course, I mean, we can't deny, okay, that who people who really record, a lot of classical music broadcast, okay, over radio and TV, on cassettes and videotapes. See, let me give you another example of how radio is playing very important role. Whenever we have like cricket match taking place, okay, so in villages you will find almost people, those who are fond of cricket matches, and they will always keep radios, okay, nearby their ears, and you will find people hanging radios on I would say bicycles also, or keeping it on maybe on a chair, and people sitting around it and listening to the commentary. So even when it comes to even listening to commentary, or just showing our interest towards games also, which are telecast through radio, radio programs. So commentary comes through a radio program. So even now when you go to the villages, now you'll find people, I mean, sitting around the radio, okay, or if there is one particular program, okay, special program, so people will be sitting around. Even look at programs, some of the important programs, you can say, which are telecast, you can say, on Sundays also, like we have few programs even telecast by our honorable Prime Minister also. So in villages people sit around and listen to radio, okay, like we have programs such as Man Ki Baat. So you must have witnessed, I mean, that how people, they sit around the radio, they listen to honorable Prime Minister's I mean speech or his Man Ki Baat. So people enjoy it. So it's not that everywhere we have television channels, okay, and particularly in villages, as I'm telling you, our country being being dominated by villages, okay, so we have almost 60 to 70% people living in villages. They take resort to radio, so even now I would say that radio is playing a very, very important role, be it in terms of like match playing, okay, cricket game, or other games also. People are mad after this, okay, so they take resort to radio, or be it other programs also. I just give you example of Man Ki Baat or other programs also. So in villages people do take help of radio. So radio still is maintaining its dominance, I would say, dominance in terms of disseminating information, okay, information, disseminating knowledge on it, because it has got its potential, okay, because we have this, media beginning, for print media particularly, beginning with this, all this, and also electronic media. When you talk electronic media, so it starts with radio, okay, television comes later. So we can't downplay the role of radio when we talk about its communication, Now, when we talk about, its significance, I would say that, radio is playing very important role when we in education field. Now that we are talking about education, okay, so when it comes to education, we have a lot of programs coming, like NEP 2020 also talks about, you can say, promoting online learning education, you can, okay, so online learning education, okay, we have it, but we have few programs also coming, okay, which are telecast by radio as well. So let me contextualize it. Like we are just seeing this program from like EGNOU center. So in EGNOU, we are having one particular radio station like Gyanwani. Okay, it is through Gyanwani, okay, that EGNOU, this Gyanwani was launched way back in 2001, So this is an educational FM radio channel. So educational FM radio of India was launched in November 2001 for education and also development and development purposes, And it operates, when I'm talking about Gyanwani, Gyanwani operates through several FM stations, FM stations, and there are as many as almost 40 channels, I would say 40 cities, and towns across India. And we are having EMPC, Electronic Media Production Center, which happens to be the nodal agency for implementing this project. So we are having this, I would say, radio, FM radio station, Gyanwani special channel 105.6, So you have people, listening to this program. So Indira Gandhi National Open University comes up with lot of programs, So as many as 10 FM radio stations are there, relating to Gyanwani also. Like we are having FM radio station at Allahabad, Bangalore, Bhopal, Chennai, Coimbatore, Delhi, Kolkata, Lucknow, Mumbai, Visakhapatnam. They are already on air. So all our programs are telecast, you can say, and people can listen to our FM channel also. And the detailed schedule of all these broadcasts can be accessed at IGNOU, EMPC Gyan Darshan website, which is available. So therefore, Indira Gandhi National Open University is still maintaining, that practice, which has been an old practice of, disseminating information, and also promoting learning process through radio. So that is why we are having our own personal Gyanwani channel, And as I told you, so we have several programs. So almost, every day, Monday to Friday, we are having programs which are telecast through Gyanwani channel, So that's now another important role in the field of, promoting education is when we're talking about media, is that, we are having a radio interactive session also, like interactive radio counseling, we have sessions. So Indira Gandhi National Open University, has this facility. The university has, started long back interactive radio counseling also, interactive radio counseling IRC, which is known as IRC, through All India Radio Network all over the world, all over the country, and you can participate in it also by tuning into your area radio station. So as I told you, we are having 105.6 radio station also, so through which you can tune in, you can join us, you can come up with your queries, you can say. So we have these programs. So well, you can see how important role, you can say, even radio is playing. So it's not that we don't, when we're talking about digital era, digital life, people are, students are too much obsessed with the computers. Every day they are making use of computers. They are sitting before the laptops, making use of several, websites. So they are becoming, I would say, very much habituated to their digital life, which I would say not is 100%, beneficial for them, So they are getting a kind of an addiction to it. So instead of, getting addiction to laptops, social media, they should also take help of radio. So, we have seen, I've talked about the importance of, radio, counseling also. So how we are having several programs also, even all India Radio. So Indira Gandhi National Open University is promoting this, old practice of learning process happening through, radio. And let me tell you also one fact, that during the whole pandemic period, Indira Gandhi National Open University has played very, very significant role, which is through interactive radio counseling. So our people working with the radio would come, even during vacation time they would come, and it went on air almost 7 days a week. So in this way, you can see how significant role our university is playing, and radio was the one which was being used, So when during pandemic time, everything was becoming so hurdlesome, you can say, we were not getting access to, internet facilities. So it was during that time that radio has played very important role, and we almost broadcast in several programs. As I told you, 7 days a week. Indira Gandhi National Open University was playing all these programs, and people were taking advantage out of it. We were getting some good feedbacks also from a lot of learners, because they were sitting at home and they were really fed up of watching televisions also. So they would take resort to radio programs, and they would listen to our interactive radio counseling programs. So that's how radio has played a very important role, particularly when you're talking about disseminating information and disseminating learning process. I'm talking about learning process, particularly how radio has been. And we also find that when we talk about, like, we have it here at Indira Gandhi National Open University in interactive radio counseling, in which we have experts. Experts coming from all disciplines. So experts from almost all the disciplines are available for this counseling. And learners, they can they have an opportunity. They can put across their questions to the experts. Through even television. And the telephone numbers are also announced, you can say, by respective radio stations, and we are having a toll-free number also for a radio interactive session, which is 1-800-112-345. So in this manner, see, today what I have done, let me wind up what I have talked about today. I talked about the importance of one of our programs, which is entitled Diploma in Creative Writing in English. And the course which I talked about, which is entitled DCE for Writing for Media and Television, I talked about the importance of radio today. And in my next class, most probably, I'll be talking about the importance of television. So what we do is we train people about script writing for radio programs, how to write a script for delivering a radio program. And we also train them for writing skills, so we just train them in a very professional manner. So I hope that today's program has helped you in understanding about writing for media, particularly looking at the importance of radio. So please refer to this booklet of this program, Diploma in Creative Writing English, so that you can get much more help. So that's it for today. Thank you so much.